Hey, it is Dan McDonald, aka Rockin' Ronnie, baby. Today we're going to talk about why I gave up solid foods and am now living a liquidarian lifestyle. I'm just kidding. I've been living a liquidarian lifestyle for like 30 years, but I'm not going to lie, I like to feed my little microbiome some fiber at night, some amino acids, and some fatty acids. So what I do is go liquid all throughout the day. Now, how can you detoxify and regenerate your body, mind, and spirit? I've got the Heal All protocol. I've got the lose 21 pounds in 21 days, and I've got the 7-day reboot, all utilizing the amazing products. Oh my God, it's so surprising. No, but what we're looking at is herbalism. Okay, herbalism used to be the way up until they took over, and we haven't had any healing ever since. Now, some people get a little bit better if they don't get a lot worse from the modern approach, the scientific approach. But what I like is common sense and nature, utilizing the elements, utilizing these herbs. So what I'm doing is I'm hydrating you. That's going to soften up all the hardened masses of calcified mucus and synthetic, isolated, inorganic chemicals in which we're just swimming in an ocean of those chemicals. So the little baby is like 75-80% water. You know, grandma is like 50-55% water. So why is grandma so stiff? Because she's dehydrated. So you want to get hydrated. I got a series of juices here. I've got some herbs I'm going to share with you to help you to do the 7-day system reboot. So that's 1 week. Lose 21 pounds in 21 days. That's 3 weeks. Or the Heal All protocol. That's 90 days. Where what you do is in the morning with your morning fresh juice, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of different juices. There's a lot of different environments. There's a lot of different levels of financial affordability. This is cucumber juice. Okay, just for example, lemon ginger blast, cucumber juice, orange juice. This is watermelon juice, believe it or not. Yellow watermelon juice, but that too. Carrot, apple, ginger is one that people can afford and is also very tasty and very delicious. And so any fresh juice that you've got, okay, 32 ounces I recommend. If you're a little smaller, you can do more of a 24 ouncer. If you're like a real small lady, or if you're like under 120 pounds and one of these things is just too much every day, you can go 24. I would never go less than, 16. But, if that's all you can afford or if that's all you can stomach, this is 16, this is 24, this is 32. It's sort of like a minimum 32 for a meal. Now me, I'm on this is a smoothie, so I'll drink this in this smoothie that I just made on the video before this. This is how much smoothie I'm drinking. I usually just drink one and go, but sometimes I'll drink up to like 2 jars. But don't let me confuse you. Let's keep the protocol simple today to help you, because this was for a young man who is using the herbal blood with his mom, and it's really, really helping her. And he left me a message, and I said, bro, you got to add the cleanse, man. If she's getting benefit from the herbal blood on her constipation, then she is most certainly going to have extreme benefits from the cleanse. The cleanse softens up the hardened masses of mucus in the GI tract, then the psyllium husk expands and pulls it out of there. Okay? So it's very powerful herbal product. Hibiscus, psyllium, that's where the mechanics of the psyllium, which has this mucilaginous property which expands, but it also has a gentle sweeping. It's not like this harsh fiber laxative. Metamucil made out of, like beach sand or whatever. It's just psyllium husk. So it's, as it gets wet, it's soft, goes mucilaginous, expands, and grabs onto the poopy poopers and the little microbes and the parasites and the fungus and the biofilms on the way out. And you'll see it, trust me. Start off with a couple, but work your way up to 8, okay? And then if you're feeling real heroic, you take 16 or 24 of these and you do a triple doser, and then bam, 18 to 20 hours later, the floodgates of hell open up and you're like, oh my God, I love this stuff, because it's amazing. I have a lot of friends that are like, oh my God, this is amazing. So this could be one of the most practical and useful herbal supplements that Puridyme makes available. Okay, so you take 32 ounces of juice with 8 cleanse. Boom, every day. It's gonna go and do its thing, and then just whoosh, it's gonna come out. Then you got another juice for your second meal, if you will, whenever your schedule is like. Doesn't really matter. It's like 3 juices or 4 smoothie. So you can have, it's 3 juices and a salad, or 3 juices and a smoothie, or 3 juices and a fruit meal, or 4 juices and a salad, or 4 juices and a smoothie. Just whatever, when I first started, I used to drink like 8 jars. But as you get cleaner, and you absorb better, and you become a better management of your energy and less stress, more restfulness, you don't burn as many calories. Stress burns calories and nutrients. And toxins take nutrients too away from you, to remove them and get them out, so you might have more of an appetite. I used to drink like 2 gallons of juice. Now I drink like 2, maybe 3 on a big day, So I've just gotten to a totally different point, but yet I have way more energy. I just don't have all the stress because I've done a lot of the inner work too. So a very important part, as this stuff is cleaning out and all the memories are being scraped off the gastrointestinal wall, you're going to feel your emotions and feel your feelings. Don't take them too personally. Just keep moving through it. Be sad, be depressed, feel it, whatever. The next day you'll wake up, you'll be fine. But if you feel sad, feel depressed, and then go out drinking with your friends, or go down to the dispensary and get some weed, or you go to the pizza shop to suppress your feelings, then you're going to keep having Groundhog Day over and over again. You got to move through it to heal. You got to feel it to heal it. We all say that, the little cliches. I know it's like, oh, I hate those cliches, but there's a lot of truth to that. You got to feel it to heal it. Trust me. The 2023 was the year of me actually finally having the testicular fortitude to feel my feelings. And I really had no choice, because I could no longer justify the distractions, and I knew that I had to feel some of these things that have been buried inside of me since I was just a wee little toddler. Okay, so I got my butt kicked in 2023, but I sat there and I felt my feelings, and I'm coming out on the other side, and I'm feeling a lot better and a lot lighter. So it's the real deal to work through the true healing. Can you dig it? So that's 1 juice with the cleanse. 8 cleanse, then second juice, 8 herbal blood, anti-parasite, antifungal, anti-candida, anti-mold for the gastrointestinal tract as the enzymes break up the biofilms. My friend asked me the other day, what do the enzymes do? The enzymes do everything. There's no movement, there's no life, there's no breathing, there's no thinking, there's no reproductive, there's no digestion, there's no anything without enzymes. And we are extremely enzyme deficient, and that's why we like to utilize exogenous supplementation. There's 2 ways to do it. You take the enzymes, or you do the water fasting. And at about day 7, your liver starts producing a massive overflow of enzymes. All the people with their intermittent fasting, it's great, but they never get into, there's no such thing as autophagy or ketosis. It's not a real thing, but I'll let everybody keep on doing their thing. It's not real. There's toxins, and then there's not toxins. It's either your toxins or your not toxins. But the tissues, they don't go anywhere. They either get bigger or smaller. They either get loaded with excesses or they get cleansed out and they function optimally. So you'll be more thin, the tissues will be more tight, they'll be more functional. But the autophagy and the ketosis, that's a load of hogwash. It's not really real. You just want to get all the gunk and junk out of the way. And once you go on the process of water fasting, then your liver starts to produce massive amounts of these liver enzymes that then start going around and neutralizing all this waste. As you're fasting, the waste is coming out into the bloodstream. The liver's producing enzymes to neutralize it and carry it out through the urine, the sweat, the feces, the ears, the eyes, the nose, out of the respiration. So there's a million different detox pathways, but you got to break it down. So until you can do longer water fastings, and the mere mortals do these kinds of protocols, until they can get to the point where you can just do the fasting. And then you have because if you fast also, you don't really have the herbs that eliminate the parasites. But if you go for like 3 or 4 weeks on water fasting, there'll be no more of the junk and the slime and the sludge that the parasites are living off of. Until then, you're weakening them and creating an environment that's hostile to the microorganisms that are more dysbiosis because of the diet, because of the stress, because of the anaerobic environments. You want oxygen, you want chlorophyll, you want as much living food as you can get in there, because then by the time it gets to your time for you to exit, now it's starting to ferment and decay. But if you cook it, it's already starting to ferment and decay. And then if you have a lot of fiberless foods, or you do a lot of bad food combining, or you overeat, or you eat a lot of processed food, eventually it builds up and builds up. You see the people, everybody's fat these days. So it's not even a thing, because in the 70s, if you went to the beach, everybody looked like me. You know what I'm saying? But now you go to the beach and you're like, whoa, wow, how do these people even survive? It's because the obesogens are so highly everywhere. They're just everywhere, And so they just stack up and stack up and stack up and stack up. All the fake fats, the fake salts, the fake sugars, the pesticides, the metals. And then the body just becomes this huge, overloaded, waterlogged kind of, and it's waterlogged because it's holding on to all those acidic toxins. And as soon as you open up the floodgates, which it takes time, this takes a lot of time. This is just the beginning to get the systems to come back online again, till you can get yourself to a much more simple monotype diets. And then of course the water fasting is the ultimate, or some kind of mono juice diet, like cucumber juice is kind of amazing. Like if you just did a 40-day cucumber juice cleanse, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, whoa, you'd be feeling pretty good by then. You might have some serious detox, but the low sugar aspect of it with the high minerals and the high hydration, you're going to dump a lot of sludge and slime. So I'm trying to keep it super simplified, but the 8 cleanse with their juice, then 8 herbal blood, and 8 pyrozyme, okay? That is going to get the biofilms, the sludge, the slime, the toxins, and start pushing some of those critters out of there. Parasite cleanse is essential, really 2 or 3 times a year, because they're just everywhere. The dog licks your face, bam, parasites, And then if you feed it anything other than like highly electrical foods, sunlight, and fresh air, they have a chance to catch on. They'll start sending signals to your brain of what to eat. So you have to override the microbes in your gut. Sometimes too, like the microbes, they want to procreate with somebody. You're like, well, that's not my wife. You know what I mean? The microbes are like, go do it. Because you might be smelling her ovulation or whatever. And you're like, go, 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 And the microbes are like, time to do it. And you're like, no, you got to know that you're a microbial blob, and that they're going to try to tell you all kinds of stuff. Eat this, smoke that, Go and impregnate that person over there. It's like, can't do it, man. You have to use your head. That's what this kind of stuff is. It's a head thing. You know what I'm saying? and then this will wake up the system and flush everything out of there. Then your brain starts working better, because when your colon works better, your brain works better. And when you're using all this, fertilizer, that's what the probiotics are. That's what's next. Fertilizer, cleanup crew, and fertilizer to re-inoculate. So then you take the, 10 or 12 of these. I like to chew them up and then brush my teeth. Bam, bam, bam. That's it. Now, do you want to do a smoothie? Do you want to do a salad? I got some yogurt here. I just wanted to show an example. I take the coconut meat, the coconut water, and some probiotics, the Life Biotic, blend that up, and then you can see the lid is bulging over. It's in there culturing right now. You can take the coconut almond yogurt, coconut Brazil nut yogurt. So you take coconut and Brazil nut, and then you take the Paradigm Natural and the Life Essentials, and you blend that up. So you make yogurts. So this is the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? This here is a smoothie. Well, this is a smoothie here, and this is my smoothie. Oh yeah. So the smoothie is coconut water, coconut meat, and bananas with the Life Essentials, the vitamin E, and the Paradigm Natural Protein, all 22 essential amino acids. So basically, like, if there was a salad up here with some avocado or some olive oil, lemon, whatever vegetables, shredded vegetables that you got, this would be the perfect. I mean, you're going to be a machine, dude. You'll be reaching incredible levels of virility. So much so that it's very hard to contain, my young Padawan learners, okay? Like a fire will be lit from your root chakra all the way up to your brain chakra and then out your heart chakra. It's like life. It's not like it's like perfect, but you just get a lot more life force from the juicing, the enzymes, the clean colon, all 22 essential amino acids, all the antioxidants, the fiber, and all of the prebiotics too, and the probiotics that go along with a system like this where you're feeding your gut all of this, fertilizer, basically. And the juices are just extracted, easily absorbable vitamins and minerals for the conductivity, the hydration, so that you don't get dehydrated like grandma and your joints and stuff get all, and then you're just stiff, and it sucks. You can't even put your pants on and stuff like that. So stay hydrated, stay energized, use the herbs, the enzymes to dissolve all of the scar tissue and the growths and the excesses that build up in the body, because most of the food is disgusting. In the sense that it leaves behind a lot of residues because it's been altered so much by the processing and the cooking. And layer after layer of all this artificial stuff, because your body doesn't know what to do with it. So it has to store it, because these toxins can't stay in the blood. Otherwise you'll die. So it stores them. And when you start the detox, all the stored toxins start to come out into your system. You feel all the emotions. You feel tired. And worse, sometimes you're like, I felt fine when I was eating cheeseburgers. I was 100 pounds overweight, but I felt okay. As soon as I started doing this detox, and all the cheese from the burgers and all the fake artificial processed ingredients that have been in my lymphatic system, interstitially, in all my tissues, all the way from the nucleus, all the way to the protoplasm, everything in between, slogging down your ATP, the mitochondria are just like barely slogging through. They're like, oh, here comes another cheeseburger. Holy crap. And then you like start putting in some of this rocket fuel, and the ATP is like, hey, cool, awesome. And it starts to dump all that waste matter. You start creating an electrical charge between the nucleus and the protoplasm. And the protoplasm can allow some of this H3O into the tissues, and then it starts to be able to create an osmosis where it'll pull the toxins out of the cells from outside the cells, so the cells start working better, and that electrical charge, you get more and more electrical and more energy, and then it starts to dump all the waste matter, not only from inside the cells, but also what's around the cells and in the lymphatic system. And you might feel like crap, but you got to just keep pushing forward. Get a massage, get a colonic, take some more enzymes, drink another juice, take a nap. When you're down, just take another nap. Don't try to reach for coffee because that's what the problem is. Everyone's loaded down. Their ATP, their mitochondria is dysfunctional because they don't have the electrical conductivity, because they're like, kale is a bad food, bacon is a superfood. And it's like, bacon is not a highly conductive food. Now, it could have some properties for insulation, because I do believe in fats, but a balance between the insulating foods like the fats and the building blocks, the all 22 essential amino acids, and the antioxidants, which of course this is a highly concentrated form, which is a type of herbalism. But then there's also a lot of herbs that get used in the juices. Not much green juice today, but lemon ginger blast, clean green, 100 different juice recipes, fresh fruits and vegetables, highly conductive electrical, utilization and optimization of tissue function, so that you might be skinny, which most people want. They don't want to be as skinny as me, but I'm an ectomorph. Hopefully everyone can just get to their own body type where they're actually fit for their own body style, whether you're big boned or small boned. But if you've got that extra chub just sitting there, you want to get rid of it. And you can, through the diet, through the protocol, through the rebounding, the yoga, the hot sweat, the cold dips, moving around, feeling good, thinking happy, positive thoughts, programming yourself before you go to sleep, programming yourself when you get up, having a plan, sticking to it, going with the protocol, trusting in it, whether it's 7 days, 21 days, or 90 days. I mean, if you do this for 90 days, the whole world is going to change. I've done it like twice, and I know people that have done it too. Now I just live it. Now I just live it every day. It's like, so it's not even really a protocol, it's a lifestyle, and I could have chosen 20 different things, but there's a lot of companies of all these products, and I've tried them all. I don't like them. They're not pure enough for me. I hate to say this is Pyridime. I know the people. They're all my friends, and they're my family. I know how stickler they are on purity and quality of every single thing that gets tested. I don't say anything about the other companies because it's a lot of people's bread and butter, apples and oranges, but there's some other companies out there. They absolutely suck, and they are toxic poison. But there's a whole lot of people that use that. I don't. I use this, and this is enough. And then there's a couple other places where I'll find and source, the best of the best. But that's it. I don't go crazy either. And there's a lot of companies that I do not like. But I know the integrity of these people. That's why I work for them. And I'm the #1 salesman, and you can see why, because I have used this stuff to rebuild my microbiome from the pits of death. When I got food poisoned at a festival, and I didn't have any of this stuff, and I didn't have a juicer, and I didn't have anything, and I got food poisoning, and I was going through the hardest time in my life, so my immune system was shot because I was so depressed going through this breakup, basically. And it was the hardest thing that ever happened because it triggered all my childhood stuff, and my nervous system was frying because I have an anxious attachment style, so my nerves were frying. I'm at this festival. I don't even want to be here. I'm working, all these people, there's food poisoning. That's why I never eat anyone else's food. If I would have had some enzymes and probiotics, I would have just ate a couple bottles of this, and it would have gone away no problem. But it took over, and then I had some other stuff that was attached to the childhood stuff with the earaches and stuff. Can't talk about that, but don't do it to your kids if you can avoid it, and don't do it to yourself. But it's a big psyop, and they're trying to fear you into doing dumb things. But there was the earache things, and so the food poisoning triggered the earache thing, which triggered this thing in my neck. Then I had to go to the hospital, and then they gave me 1 round of antibiotics, and I'm like, okay, peace, thanks, because the swelling was going down. Let me go home. I can think straight now. I'm going to take over and do my own thing, like a low sugar, high herbal, get rid of the bacteria that proliferated out of control because my immune system was so screwy. I didn't want to be where I wanted to be. I didn't want to be around these people, stressed out, yada, yada, yada. And then I went to the hospital, and then they almost killed me because that's what they do. And then that's your lesson. And everybody goes through that. They're like, oh my God, I thought, we all talk about it like, oh yeah, the medical establishment, it's not that cool. But then when you go there and you have that, and they charge you like $30,000 to absolutely napalm you to death, and it's like $1 for a Q-tip kind of a thing, and you're looking at that, you're like, whoa, this is gross, this is disgusting, and you're evil, because I took 1 round of antibiotics, The swelling started to go down. I woke up the next day and I wanted to leave, but they forced me to stay at the hospital under guard for 3 days, and they kept napalming me, and they're like, no, we need to put you on one more round and then we'll let you go. Well, they just kept doing it, and I finally had to sneak out of the hospital with a gown on, ass hanging out and everything. The guard took off for a second, and I blasted the hell out of there, and I never looked back. You know what I'm saying? So then I had to start rebuilding. I had to learn what it was like to rebuild the microbiome. And that was just at the time that this became a reality, going from the other company that we were doing, and we were using their stuff, but it wasn't nearly as good. And then we made our own company. And then I had access to all this when we had the old white labels. And I started blasting this, and I started studying the microbiology, and I rebuilt my gut because I was the walking dead after they napalm your gut. And then, so now I avoid antibiotics like the plague, pesticides like the plague, and life has been a lot better since then because I learned how to cultivate the garden of the gut. If you got another herbal company that you trust and you want to use that. This is just the company that I use, that I trust. It's a great program with herbs, enzymes, and probiotics. With the prebiotics, all 22 essential amino acids made out of pea and hemp. So it's a great lifestyle smoothie like this with the bananas, the carbs, the proteins, the antioxidants, the vitamin E, which is neuroprotective. All the 22 essential amino acids that keep you balanced out and keep you sane. I mean, I'm not going to win any awards for fitting in and being normal, but believe me, when the camera's off, I'm a pretty normal, chill dude, actually a little bit crazier than on the camera. But the life energy is there. And believe me, your boy's been through the ringer in this life. So to come out on the other side of this thing, feeling pretty good, utilizing the protocol, which is basically just a lifestyle for me. A lot of times more intuitive, But at first, I recommend people just stick to the program. 8, 8, 8, and 12 or 15, and then chew these up and brush your teeth with them and keep your teeth and your gums super healthy. Then throw in a smoothie with the natural and the life essentials, and then if you want, you make a dressing with the nuts and seeds and the culturization with the life biotic. It's going to be a lot more, but I have a food class coming up, and I'm going to go through the whole thing. It'll probably be like a 3 or 4 hour food class where I'm going to show you a bunch of different smoothies, a bunch of different yogurts, a bunch of different recipes utilizing this stuff, because there's a lot of ways to put the cleanse. You can dip watermelon into the powder and then that just, man, if you really want to cleanse, you chop up the watermelon in chunks and you dip it in the cleanse powder. Okay, I got the Livezyme, the cleanse powder. You take the cleanse powder, you take the chunks of watermelon, and you just put this on a plate and you dip it on there just a little bit. It's not the best tasting thing, it's not the worst. But when you open up the floodgates of hell and you have your first ecstatic dump that you've had in decades, and you see that's like, okay, I haven't eaten that in like 2 years, and it's coming out, and you're like, oh my God, I'm a beast. I'm a disgusting animal. My colon is toxic. Cleanse powder, there's a lot of other things you can do, man. This is the life biotic that you use to make the dressings. And so you're just blasting yourself with all this life force. And pretty soon you're like, holy crap, I feel way better, dude, and alive and really, really healthy and full of life force energy. Okay? Clean colon, clear brain, open heart. Mitochondria, ATP, energy. Electrical, conductive, highly vibrational energy. Clean out your organs and glands. Get a lot of sleep, sunlight, fresh air. Stretch out and stay hydrated and stay motivated. Okay? These here, the Pyrazyme, that's the medicine, man. That'll break down all the crap. The enzymes do every single physical function in your body is from the enzymes. 30 minutes is long enough. You better do what I say, damn it. Thank you. I love you guys. Appreciate everything. Run it out to 30 minutes. Look at those muscles. Yeah, I'm jacked.